Good morning. Miss. Yeah. Okay, no more ads. Cool. Cool. Hello. Okay, I'm a bit late, I know. But it's okay. I'm here. Better late than never, right? Let me just make sure everything sets up the way I like it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I decided to sleep in a little bit. Well, decided is a strong word, right? It's not something I decide, generally speaking. It just kind of happens because I'm too lazy to get up. And then, here we are. Okay, so what did we accomplish yesterday? So we basically made it so that you can select your party, right? So I made this party member SO, scriptable object, which holds your party configuration, right? So we can now do 4 chicken knights or, a couple of knights, a duck and a robin. Or we can just do a bunch of ducks and a knight. And if I do that and I play the game, I did make it work. So I also tested it yesterday during the day to show it off to my wife. So it does work. There weren't any new breakages that I remember. Yeah, so here we go. We have Rob, the knight, and then Stacy, Joel, and Pete. And you can select whichever one, put them in the block to play with them. Like it, and we can take this guy for instance, start the game. Here we go. Now, this obviously introduces a bunch of new problems, specifically balance problems, right? So there are some interesting things that we need to consider with all this extra characters, or with the stacking of characters, right? Because right now, as you can see, because we have 3 ducks, our movement speed increases are incredible, right? That's quite a lot of movement speed. I think if we look at the the stat SOs, you'll notice that something like movement speed. So typically, movement speed, the highest value movement speed you can get upgrade-wise should be 0.3. Right? But since these ducks have 100% increase in movement speed, and it doesn't increase the base, it stacks. So it goes 0.3 times 2, essentially, which is 0.6, times 2 again for the second duck, which is 1.2, times 2 again is 2.4. So that's quite strong, right? It might be too strong. But that is how the calculation works right now. And we might have to go and fix it. So, or change it, balance it and something like that. But yeah, I don't. And now you get this passive strength plus 100%. That essentially doubles it again, right? So it can get kind of ridiculous. Let's see what we can get here. Spell damage. Yeah, see there. 3.6. Okay, it doesn't quite double it again, so that plus 100 doesn't stack the same way. So what that plus 100 did is it took the 0.3, times it by 3 to 0.9, and then that was multiplied by 2 again to 1.8, multiplied by 2 to 3.6. Right, so it's not quite the same, but still gets pretty up there. Right, so I'm gonna have to consider whether or not that is the way I want this thing to behave. So here we can go spell damage, I think. Dodge chance, why not? Spell damage, armor, and some movement speed. And then this guy, he's not going to be doing much, right? Let's be honest. But we can make him fast. So let's see. Who is our fastest character right now? We have 10.4, 10.29, 15 movement speed on Pete. Okay, let's even. I don't even know what that looks like. That's pretty crazy. Now, I don't know if that's any good. Like, why would you want to be this fast? Who knows? Yeah, this is quite insane. You can definitely evade the enemies, no problem, right? Like this duck is zooming. Like, movement speed isn't bad, but this seems unnecessary, right? Okay, and then you also get a little bit of an armor bonus because we have our chicken here. Okay, so obviously I could nerf this in a way that makes it so that it's discouraged from taking a team that's basically one type of character. If that's the way I want to go, right? I don't think that is what I want to do. I want to encourage fooling around, right? I want to encourage fun. So I want to encourage the players to just, like, I don't know, take a bunch of ducks, right? And go super fast. Or something, if they want it. But I do believe that I should maybe consider changing some of these stat bonuses in some way, so that it's not unnecessarily overpowered, and also so that all of the combinations can feel equally good or viable. Now that might just be something, that might be changing something like the stat that the duck affects. You know, it might not be movement speed, it might be one of the other stats. So, I mean, if you look, we have critical chance, for instance. We could say he increases your critical chance, right? And that's nice. Or critical damage, or you know, whatever the case might be. You know, because maybe crits are better than just moving fast. Right, because I think certain buffs are better than others. Like, if you think about it, the Robin does attack speed. And attack speed's just better, right? Like, if I did the same thing with 4 Robins in a night, I haven't gotten this to be super insane, but the attack speed gets out of hand, right? If you get a couple of rounds of good attack speed buffs, you can get to, you know, 1,000% attack speed increase. Oh, there's a bug. Okay, I should fix that. Somehow the little indicator thing is off to the side for some reason. That's not good. Okay, so let's see. So you see, okay, this is going to be ridiculous now, right? Passive strength plus 300%. So let's see. Unfortunately, he rolled attack speed already before that was applied. More passive strength. More passive strength. Okay, let's see how... Like, there we go. 320% attack speed. We'll take it, right? Plus 160% attack speed, we'll take it. More passive strength, we'll take it. And now, even for the knight, we can go attack speed, you know, armor, why not? And now we have a knight with 280% attack speed. And we have a ranger with 480% attack speed. Already, right? This is the first round. So we were a bit lucky, but I mean, if you look at this, we'll look at both, but like this is way more impactful than the movement speed. Like, even if you get super lucky and you get some stupid amount of movement speed, or movement speed increases, like if you roll lucky like we just did with the attack speed, this is not the feeling you're gonna have, right? Like, this is obviously very powerful. I mean, I can clear these enemies no problem forever. And it's the second level, that's the other thing. Somehow I didn't get many kills. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, look at this. A level 1 attack speed upgrade. 240. Right, that's pretty good. I actually want to see what it looks like on the knight. Okay, so unfortunately it's just 280, but I think that's pretty good. Okay, yeah, these totems, you can only damage them so quickly, right? I remember that the knight can go into like a super frenzy mode at some point where he just gets like infinite attack speed and he goes like brrr. Well, technically the ranger could do the same, right? Pretty good. Let's go lifesteal. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, let's get to building a UI to get this working, right? So I think I want to do this in the main menu, so not on this scene. So I think it's a good idea to go over to our other scene and keep that separate, so we can populate this scriptable object from that scene. And then yeah, you can populate it on that side. And then when we start this scene, it's ready to go, right? Okay, so let's see. Let's go to our scenes. I don't know where this is. I never go to scenes. Okay, here we go. Main menu scene. Yeah, save this one. It's okay. Yeah, it looks weird from this perspective, eh? The big tree. Oh, I still have the funky wizard here. Okay, anyway. So if we go to UI Builder, we can easily go just say new. So this should be, okay, let's say save as. Let's put it in UI. This should be party selection UI. Okay, VS Code is on that side. Okay, so we have party selection UI. And you know what? We can create a USS, call it no. Party selection style. There we go. Add that there. Now we got both. Okay, so we start off with just adding a visual element to this thing. And let's go change the size so it just, you know, fits. Okay, 1920 by 1080. Fit viewport. Okay, so this is just our main container. Like that. Okay, we got our main container going. Alright, so what do we really want here? I don't think it needs to be too crazy. But what would be kind of cool if we go into Paint. Okay, let's go new. We don't say. So let's see. This would be kind of cool if we could do something like this, right? So imagine you have, let's think about this. So a pop-up maybe somewhere in the middle of the screen. And then you do select your party members. Right? And we can make this bigger, obviously. Right, select your party members. Okay. So what we have from there, I think it would be kind of cool if we put down like, so we can do multiple types of ways, right? We can have 4 slots, right? So let's say we have a label. So that's a label. Then we have a container inside of there with 4 slots, and we have another container here. Now, what we can do is what if we make it so that when you click here, right, if you click on the portrait or the empty block, it opens up a selection menu, and then you click one of these and it fills in that block. Or I can just have all the characters that are available down here all the time. So you click, 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 click. Does that feel good? I don't know. I don't know what's good about designing UI or not. You could also do like a drop-down menu here. You can also click and drag. Or maybe you could just click. So what if we have the portraits down here for the other characters, for all the characters, right? And I want there to be many characters, right? So we have 4 big ones and then a bunch of small portraits. Maybe with a label on top, Chicken Knight, so you have an idea who you're selecting. Then when you click on it, when you click on any one of these, it'll fill the next available opening, right? So if I click this 4 times, it'll just go populate 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Right? If I click this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one, it'll fill it in 1, 2, 3, 4. If I click, it's one. It's going to be first 2 is this one, second 2 will be these. And if I click on any of these, it should remove them, unless so what I could do, maybe I put a little like block here. Or I could just be select your party members, and then this is like available characters, right? I mean, yeah, something like that. And then we could also have a block underneath each of these for the names, right? Because you can change the names. So that means we're going to need containers like this. Building my visual tree here. So we're going to need a container like that. I don't know how we do this one. This might just be some kind of a grid or something. I don't know. We'll see how that works. Okay, but you have containers like that. So we have portrait, a name, or we could even put the names on top. Right. And maybe what we could consider doing is making a little button over here to reselect or remove or something like that. Or you could just make it, if you click on the portrait, it removes that character. That's not so bad. Like something like this. Yeah, we can get rid of that. It's fine. Okay, and then obviously we might need buttons at the back, at the bottom. So we might need an extra container there. Go or back. Right. Back to main menu basically and start. Okay. I think this is going to work fine. I like this. So let's try and build something like that. Okay, so we got our main container. Now inside our main container we want our actual view. Let me just adjust myself here on the chair. Okay, so we want the actual view somewhere in here, which is going to be like the main one. So the main container is just the whole screen. That's fine. So let's see if we can make. We want an element inside of this. Okay. So I don't want this thing to stretch the whole screen. So let's go to alignments and see how we can make this work. So align self, I just want it to be centered. Okay. And do I want it to grow? Can we do like grow but 0.6? So it's just 60% of the screen. Okay, that works. And then we just align it to the center. Doesn't seem like that does what I want it to though. This is just aligning the content. Okay, so this growing is not quite doing what I want. So let's just let it grow all the way. Okay, we can just do that auto. And then what we can do is we can just add padding, I guess, actually. Like we did a 10% at the top and a 10% below it. Okay. Let's see. The width. Yeah, something like that looks okay. So we can make the width a percentage. 50% of the screen. So there we go. That's our little area. Okay, so everything is going to go in there. And now if we could just go back to our paint. So that's this block here. So we want 1, 2, 3 elements inside of this block now. 1. Well, we actually just want a label in the top level. Right, and then we want this to be duplicated like that. Not quite sure why these things are doing that. Normally they fill everything. Okay, now you must be in the center. Okay. Just align the items to the center. Alright, I'll just do it something like this. Actually, now that I think about it, do I want... Actually, I think this thing... I think I must do another container, actually. Yeah, so this just helps it place correctly, but this one, I want this one to have a background, right? So let's see. Yeah. So it's not going to be that, but for now it is going to be that, so that's fine. Let me just put like a 20 radius on it. Right, and this one we can also give it some padding. Okay, so not margin, I don't think. Padding is what I want. 40 should be okay. Yeah, that's fine. Now, this one we can... let's see, we can change... We can change things around if we feel like it. Okay, but that's... So this we don't want to color because it's going to color there and it's going to look weird. This one, now colors there. Okay, so now we can start working on, like, I don't know, this text stuff. So let's just make it white. And let's make the size quite a bit larger. Bold even. Okay, and this is just going to be select. No, not like that. Change the text over here. Select your party. Select your party. Ah, jeez. Select your party. Okay, that's better. And let's see if we can figure out how to align this. Yeah, that's fine with me. Okay. This one down here, this will just hold 2 buttons, I think. So let's put some buttons in there so we can just see them. B buttons. Okay, so there we go. We want to align the buttons like that. Something like that. Yep, like that, exactly. Okay, align self like that. And then we also want this thing to, let's see, to not grow at all. Just needs to be big enough to hold the buttons, I think. That's pretty much the idea. Right, we can give it a little bit of padding on the top, I think. Like 10, just so the whatever's on top of it doesn't like interfere. Okay. And that looks good. Okay, now we need in here, we need 4 blocks. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and they're going to be aligned like that. And that's pretty much already perfect. Okay, and then in each of those we need 1, 2 elements essentially. No, not like that. So we have 1, 2. Okay, this one's going to be like the name. You know what? Actually, that could just be a label then. So let's just drag in a label instead. Yeah, so that's going to be the name. Oh, actually, I'd actually don't know how to do a... Okay, let's put a visual element, and inside that we put a label. Right, and maybe something else. So let's see. How do we get text? You see, this is pretty cool. It's an enum dropdown. Right, that could definitely help quite a bit. Okay, so I'm not sure. Can you just have a label be editable? Like, is that a thing? I actually have no idea. I want to try that actually. So if we make this so selectable might be the first thing we need to do. Okay. So I'm just going to make the text wide so I can actually see it. Make it bold, make it big. Okay. So we have that label, right? So let's just do preview. Yeah, so I want something that allows me to insert text. What does this do? Oh, that's a field. Okay. Interesting. Oh, text field. Oh, wow. I'm blind. Okay. Okay, so we don't need the label actually. So we can just work it like this. Okay. Okay, so we can have... We can say name or character name. Right. So let's see if I change the color of the text. What am I changing? Okay, what's this one? Okay, that changes that. Make it bigger. Okay, we just need to be careful here. Like it's growing exponentially. Yeah, this is quite a large field. Why are you quite so large? Any of you smaller? Okay, let's just see. Yeah, we just have a label. The input text. Well, let's just change this to name. Take out the character. So just name. Something like that. Okay, so it's quite big. We could do it like that, actually. So let's just see here. Could I make this thing just have a width? Without growing. Okay. So this label specifically, I want to edit this. Yeah, so I want to get the Unity text field label. How do I add this to? Like I want to edit that, but I can't. Can I add a style sheet to this thing? So let's just say we have text field label, right? Yeah, like I can't. Did I do it? Did it work? I don't think it did, right? Yeah, and if I added like that. So this is a problem I have with a lot of these pre-built things. So let's Google something. So we want to do how to edit or how to change edit style of Unity UI toolkit. So something like text field label. I don't know. Let's just see what it says. Okay, UI Builder styling underneath text input component. Okay, it seems like people have similar problems because, yeah, you can't. Yeah, okay. Grayed out, can't modify them. Okay, so you need to do something like parent element class, child element class. Not entirely sure. So if I give, okay, so if I did that, yeah, so it does this direct child parent in the class name. Okay, so I'm not sure how this works, but anyway, so let's say. Okay, so if we click on this thing, we can see that it has text field label on it now. Yeah, okay, fine. If I want that label specifically, I guess I need to go dot label. so if I do text field label dot label, what does that do? So that's a type, not a class. And if I change, okay, I had no idea what this will change. Nothing. Yeah, it's pretty much what I thought. Okay, so what if we do? Okay, if we look at this label, so it is the it's a Unity base field label. So if I take that one and I change anything, it doesn't do much. Oh wait, is it because this is not assigned? Okay, if I just do Unity base field label, looks like I can change it that way. That doesn't feel like what I actually want, but at least I have the capability now, right? I mean, it's not, I just want to do something like make it bold or make it centered. Alright. And now the next thing would be this fill a text field thing. I wonder actually what this looks like if I preview the style sheet. That's just empty. I wonder why. It's because I haven't saved anything? Yeah, okay. Okay, I mean, if that's how it works, then I'm just gonna work with it like that. Hey, Princess Ashley. How's it going? I am doing well, thank you. Fighting UI again, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It'll be fine. Alright, so let's see if there's anything else that's funny with this thing. It's got some padding and stuff, but that's okay. So I want this thing to be bigger. Okay. So let's try and access that with this selector, I guess. So I just add that there. Something like this. What did I just select? So if I change the text size, okay. I see. Can I change the padding in that nonsense? Because the padding is kind of annoying. No, I can't. Okay, so that's the text element. Are you kidding me? This thing obviously has a bunch of... oh, okay, there's the spacing. I'm just... Ah, there we go. So we make this 0. Yeah, okay, let's just make it 0 over there. Then it looks just like that. Okay, now if I want to add some padding like there and there, I can. We can put like 2 pixels. Okay, let's see. If I make grow 1, it actually doesn't want to grow. Interesting. I wonder why it's... Ah. Okay, this is already much better. Okay, let's see if we can change the... Okay, yes, we can change the text color. We can make it bold. Fantastic. We can justify it as well. Okay, you know, this is looking reasonable, I think. It's better. Okay, this label has too much padding and stuff, so let's go and get rid of it. A great hump day, you say? Well, it's already over for me. I'm in the Thursday mode. Unfortunately. Well, or fortunately. Okay, that looks better. Yeah. This is already an improvement. Okay, so inside this guy we have that thing, which is way too big. So let's just switch off the growing. Yeah. I am from the future. Okay, I can live with this. Do I think it's perfect or the best thing ever? No, but I can live with it, right? So I'm just gonna live with it. Let's see if we can give this thing a radius. Does it change anything? Oh, it does. Okay, yeah. Like it is a 5 pixel radius. Smooth those corners out a little bit, and I think we've gotten somewhere. You wish every day was Friday. When would you get work done? Okay, so this visual element, this needs to be the holder or something like that for my character's portrait. So we need to think about how this is going to work. But let's put in a border. Right, let's make it a bit bigger. 8 pixels will do. And yeah, 25 radius looks good. Work would be. But if every day is Friday, doesn't that mean you never have a weekend? So then you just work every day. That doesn't sound like the solution. Okay, let's add some padding. Yeah, 5 pixels worth should be okay. Well, I guess your Friday is going to change quite a bit if you have it every day, right? Like, Friday is the way it is because the other days exist. And as soon as you only have a Friday, it's going to get... What is a Freaky Friday? Okay. Okay, we can do dot button. And I think then we can change the buttons to look a little bit better. If we wanted. So let's give the buttons a bit of a radius. How does that not select the buttons though? Okay. Button. I still need to drag it over there. Okay, something like that. I think it's fine. Let's see, what else do I need to change here? I don't think the text does anything for me. Don't want to change any of that stuff. I can leave that standard. Maybe just the size. So I think if you make it grow, yeah, no, that's not bad. That's all good. Let's not make it grow. Let's just give it a width. It's a little bit larger. Like a percentage is fine, I guess. Make like 15%. So we got button and button. Okay, so I want to change the color of these buttons. They don't look amazing. Make them nice and white. I don't know what this tint means. And it might be when you hover over the button. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, make the text a bit bigger. Center the text. And let's just give these buttons some. Okay, so this would just be back, I guess, and this would be start. Right, something straightforward like that. I'm not sure why these buttons are sitting like that anyway. Oh wait, I gave this thing padding. Yeah, that's why. It's why. Okay, this is just gonna be the back button. Right, and this is just gonna be the start button. Okay, cool. So that's basically the buttons, right? We don't have to mess with them too much. I think we can even move them down if that's possible. Yeah. Okay, that should work out. It's a bit of a wonky way of doing this. Okay, not gonna worry about that too much. Let's just leave it. That looks okay-ish. Okay, so we kind of want this. Should this be smaller? How was my night's sleep? You know, basically. If I can describe it as anything, it's I mean, I slept. But that's about all I can say about it. Okay, what else do I want to do here? So we can change. So let's preview this. So then you should be able to click here and just type. This is Rob. Chicken Rob. Right, there we go. We changed the name. So that should be okay. Now we just need to figure out a way to populate these fields. Okay. Now, should I make this a template and then just duplicate it? Okay, so this thing is going to be called let's just call it party member 1. Right, and now we can, I believe we could just duplicate these. Yeah. And this is party member 2. Party member, not 4. Come on, 3. And this one would be party member. Oh, come on. 4. Okay. So these things we're going to want to populate them with a picture of our potential party members, right? Okay. So here, we kind of want a big list or something like that of all the potential members. So let's think about that. Yeah, I don't really know how I want to make this work, to be honest. There's basically going to be a bunch of visual elements in here that'll kind of be I kind of want a grid of some kind. I don't know how I want to approach this. I wonder if there's a way to make it a grid. I mean, we have this multi-column list view thing. That is actually potentially how I should go about this, if I think about it. So if we put a multi-column list view in here, I mean, what you can do now is you can just add more columns. So I can add like 10 columns here and then fold them. Right, so that's one way of doing this. I also don't need to do it that way. I can just have a scroll view. Right, and then inside the scroll view, I have a visual element. And inside this visual element, I have my columns, let's say. So I take this visual element and I do something like that. Yeah, and now we essentially have a bunch of columns. Okay, so we can do like selectable character container, right? And then these would be like the columns. Column 1, let's say. So column 1. That's kind of annoying. So let's delete these and then duplicate this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that's probably good enough, right? So 2. Oh, come on. Let me rename you. Oh, I think I can just do it in here. That's actually worse. I'll rename it over there. 4. Oh, I did 4 already. 5 then. And then number 6. Okay, so something like that. And we kind of want... Okay, let's add a selector column. And let's just make sure all of these are working with the column selector so that we can edit them easily, right? Okay. Okay, let's just go through them and see if it took. Yes, it did. Okay, so now I can just do something like, if I want to, set the flex. You know what, let's set it to 0. These things don't grow. Okay, and we can put the width as a percentage. Okay, somehow it's just ignoring everything I do here. This should be overriding it. And it seems like it's not. Okay. Okay, so what we want to do. So let's say we want to encode. So we want to start writing the code for this menu. We want to make this thing, so this column view over here, populate the columns with the available characters. Right, so put icons in here. And then when you click on any one of them, it should update, it should fill these, right? Okay, so I think I have all the elements I need. I just need to do code. Right. Okay, let's so what we'll do is we'll create empty, and this is going to be the party selection UI. What did I call this? Yeah, party selection UI. Yeah. Okay, so we have party selection UI, and then we can do add. Well, actually, add component UI document. Okay, we'll just use our panel settings that we have. And over here, we'll just look for party selection UI. There we go. Okay, so the document is there. Now, if we go to the game view, I think we should see our UI in all its glory. That is some fantastic looking UI right there. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Why does it look so shit? Yeah, that is quite bad, right? What the hell did it do? How did it squash everything like that? That's so weird. Okay. There it got rendered correctly. Okay, maybe it's just a weirdness. So strange. Okay, something like that. It's quite small. Nah, maybe it's not that bad. Okay, we'll work with it for now. Obviously, we can always fix this to make it look better in the future, but for now, it's okay. Okay, so let's start coding. So what we need is a script. Let's see. Scripts UI. We've never made a script like this, so create new mono behavior. This is going to be our party selection UI. Okay. Oh, come on. Get it done. Okay, cool. Okay, so party selection UI. So we add it to this thing. Okay, party selection UI. Okay, let's start editing. Okay, so the some things we need, obviously. Okay, so the first thing we definitely need is a reference to our scriptable object, right? So serialized field, this would be our party member SO. Okay, let's see. It's a private party members SO, right? So we need that. And then actually, I think we need a character. Do we have a scriptable object that's just a list of... I mean, we can make a list. I don't like that because now... Yeah, so I already have 2 places where I need this. So let's do... Because I think I used the same thing in my other UI. Or in Player Manager, actually. Yeah, I have a list of character SOs. So what if I just had a scriptable object? Or I could make it. Okay, you know what I can do? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. So inside my party members, right? Because I'm gonna have to use the scriptable object pretty much everywhere now. Let's see. So we have a list of character type, which is just names, right? But what if we also just keep a list of character and we just call this let's just call it a list of character SO. Character SO list. So this is effectively going to be all the potential characters that I have in the game. Okay, so if we have a scriptable object like that, or in our party members, what we can do with that is we can actually very easily then just go here and wonder why it didn't. Okay, it didn't compile because I don't know why it didn't compile. Okay, so now we have this and we can literally just go and add each of my character types, or at least each of the scriptable objects for the characters. Now, what that'll do is we can then in the future do something like add more characters to this, and that'll basically just expand the amount of available selectable characters, essentially. So we have this list now, and we can go through this list, no problem. Okay, so now we actually have a list of the selected members, so that's these elements. We have a list of the party member names, and we have a list of all the available characters that we might need, right? So all of these things are required. Okay, good. Okay, now from here, where do we have to go? Okay, so we're gonna have something like a start again, and we'll have to get a reference to our root. So visual element. Well, we need our we can do private visual element main container, at least, right? And then you will do visual element root equals get component of type UI document, and we want the root visual element. Okay, there we go. And then we can do main container equals not root but root.queue. So we have to query for a visual element with the name main, and it won't be capitalized, main container. Right, so that's the start of it. Okay, now we also need a bunch of stuff, right? We need to get access and to all the elements. Okay, so if we think about it, on our UI we have these blocks, which are basically party members. So we can create a party member scriptable object class just to get all the elements inside of here. So this one, etc. Right, that's not a bad idea. So we can set it up that way. So we can do a public class party member. Right, and it's going to have a... Okay, so these won't be strings and stuff like that necessarily. So let's think about this. We want the name field, which would be... Oh, jeez. So we need inside of this, we have a text field. So let's see if we can find... So is a text field a thing? Yes. So this is the name. Right, and then we have a public... a visual element. And this would be the... Let's just say the selection holder. Okay, something like that. Right. Okay, so those are the two elements that we need to get. Now we can also use this to store some data. Okay, so what kind of data do we maybe want to store in here? Just rearrange myself a little bit. Okay, so if we got a name, that's just something we type in, and eventually we want to assign this name to our party member SO, right? As far as the selection holder goes, that's going to contain, or that's going to be something that we need to put our character into, right? Or just to add an icon to it. So you know what, we can have public image character icon, right? We can do that, and let's think. We could also have public. So now we can have one of the names, for instance, I guess, because that's what we need. So in our party member SO, we can just assign a name then when we click on something. Actually, what is it now? Where's our party member SO now? Am I blind? There it is. Okay, so this thing already has a party members list, which is a character type with names. So we can do this character data.character type. Okay, something like that. So each party member, and now this is the party member selection stuff, right? We'll have a name, an icon holder, the icon itself, and a character type. Okay. And what we can do is we can also then create a private list of these party members. Okay, and we can call it party members. Okay, so that's a good place to start. We have this class where we just store all the various fields and stuff that we have in UI. We can have a list of these because there will be 4, and that will make it easy for us to connect the various data points and stuff like that to each of them. And then later on, when we click like the start button, we can obviously go and assign all of this to our actual party members SO. Okay, so that's the first thing we need. Okay, so the next thing I think we're gonna need is some kind of a element to represent the clickable icons for the different types of characters, right? So I don't know if we really need if we need anything like this necessarily. I don't think we do. So let's think how we would do this. We could just loop through all the character scriptable objects and create a visual element inside of our block down there, right? So yeah, so we could easily go, okay, so let's see. So let's try and do that, right? So we have this block which doesn't have a name. Okay, no, wait, it does. So we have the selectable character container, and we have these columns inside of it, right? Okay. So each of these columns, yeah. So this works. Okay, this is going to be an interesting one. Okay, how would we attempt this one? Right. So there's going to be some nested looping going on here. So we might need a list or a reference to each of those columns in some way in here, so we can assign them. But since they are named column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we should be able to do something interesting with our loops. Right. So let's try and make an interesting loop. Okay, so I mean, I believe we could just do for int I. Okay, let's think about this. So we don't want party members count necessarily, right? That's not where we're going with this. We want to loop through all our characters, or the type characters, right? So we want to go party members SO dot. Okay, party members SO dot character SOs dot count. Right? So that'll take us through the 4 characters. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And now for each of those, I want to create a visual element. Right, so we can do visual element VE equals new visual element, and then we can do VE dot, and you know what, we can also do a image I equals new image, right? So we create a visual element and an image. This is not going to work. Image. Okay, so we create those things. And then we can do a few things like image.sprite equals. This could just be a for each loop, right? But I might need the I. So, yeah, we won't do that. So we can do party members SO dot character SOs of I. And we can do dot character portrait. Right, so we set the sprite equal to this character portrait. Okay, so now we have an image that is a sprite, and that's good. Okay. So all of this is fine. Okay, and somewhere here we want to do a private void add party member, right? And I think we're going to do a private void remove. Oh, come on, you got it. Remove party. Oh, geez. Member, right? So these two things would be possible. Now let's think about this. Okay, so we got an image. Oh, we got okay, we added to the image a sprite, and now we can do visual element dot add the image, right? So we add the image to the visual element. Now this visual element won't have any formatting, so it's going to look bad, but it will exist. Right, and you know what we could also do? We could get our... okay, wait. We need to think about this. Okay. So we have our visual element, right? Now we need to put it somewhere. Right, we could get a column number. So we need a column number and a row number. So this would be the party member count, right? So let's imagine you have 8 party members. So row 1 would take up the first 6 of them, and then row 2 would take 2. Right, so we need to go through the row numbers and the column numbers in some way. So we could have an int row. We shouldn't want to. So let's think about this. We are going through the elements, and yeah, we don't want to initialize the row here. That would be bad. So what if we did int row number equals 0 and int column number equals 0. Okay. Okay. So we start at 0, 0. Right. So we add. Okay. So we created the element, and then we can say our column number plus. Okay, I'm gonna think about this, and then something like if call number greater than 5. This might not work exactly the way I wanted. Then row number plus, and then column number equals 0. So we just reset it. Okay. So we might want to add it there, then increment this. And when this goes greater than 5, so it must be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So that would fill everything correctly. Then it increments again, and it actually resets to 0. Okay, yeah, that should work. And then our row number increments as well. So our row number is 0 the whole way, and then it increments there. And our column number is now 0 again. I don't know if we need to actually keep a row number. I don't think that number has a point, really, because we don't need to know what the row we're in. We just need to reset the column and put the next character at the start again. So we want to fill it like this. Yeah, so it might not be needed. Okay, but regardless. Okay, so we can do a string column name equals string dot format. Okay, so what we have here is, I think I just named it column with a number, right? So 0, and what we want to put in there is the I. So that is our column name. And now all we have to do is access that column. So we just go root dot q. We want a visual element, right? Yeah, I think so. And the visual element name is column name. And to that, we want to add this new visual element that we just created. Right, one of our party member icons. Okay, so we've added it to the column that we have, right? And then we'll go through the columns like that. Okay, that's great. Now we also just need to do a callback so that so that all this stuff actually works. So that's a bit more tricky, but so party in the party selection, not the style. Where the hell? Oh, level prep UI. We just come back here to see how the hell this worked again. Yeah, so we just register a callback. Yeah, I registered the callback on the icon itself, which is maybe not a bad idea, but maybe it is a bad idea. Okay, so what we did here is pointer down event and a character, which is not a bad idea. Again, party member would be good, or whatever we put in there. And then we just have our icon holder click pointer down event character. Okay. Yeah, that character is this one. This refers to that, and that refers to the character that I'm sending through. Okay, cool. So, what was that? Register callback. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so we've just added this visual element, right? So maybe we do v.register callback, right? So let's see. I think it's just a pointer down event, right? Yep, pointer down event. And what do we want to give it, right? So let's see. We should have a character SO. That's maybe something we can give it. But I don't think we need to go that far, right? We can always figure out which character we have if we just have a character name. Right, so do we just want to give it a character name? So, or a character type, actually. So let's think about this. We can do a character type. Oh, wait. Maybe... Huh. I'm actually thinking about this. So what we could do is when you click this button, it should add a party member, right? Which is one of these. So it should access one of these. And every time you click it, you should add one of them there. So we don't care about that. We don't care about the selection holder. What we do care about is the image and the character type. So what if we added a character data dot character type? Okay, we can even do another one which could be an image, right? So we could change. Yeah, we can give it both those things. Okay. Okay, so this thing should take a point down event. It should also take a character data.character type, and it should take an image, which we just call the icon. Okay, and that means we can call this add party member, and we can give it the and we have to go into the character SOs at the ith position dot no, party member SO. Okay, we have to do this whole thing. Okay, party member SO character SO dot character type. So we give it the type, and then we just give it the image. Right? So this thing is not very happy with me. Oh, it requires one type argument. Okay, so this is too much. Okay, so let's just give it a party member, right? So that might be easier anyway. So if we just give it one type, a party member. Okay, then we can create a party member right here. We haven't created party members yet. Let's just say party. Well, okay. We want a party member PM equals new party member, and then PM.name. Right, PM.name. We don't want name actually. PM dot selection. No, PM dot character icon is equal to image, right? And PM dot character type will be equal to all this nonsense dot character type. So if we did it this way, so let's think how this works. So this would mean I create a party member. So when I click So let's think about this. Each of these buttons, or each of my characters, will create a party member. Right, this might be completely pointless. Yeah, because maybe we just want the 4 party members at all times. Potentially, maybe we don't want more. Because what this is going to do, it's going to go through this, and it will create a party member for each character. And then add party member will just add the party member to the list, I guess. Is that bad? I don't know if that's bad. Might be easier to work with it this way. So we just extract the data we need. We could also just send the whole damn character SO. Because it'll have all the information we technically need to construct one of these. I'm just not too sure if that is what I want. Because I have the image now. Yeah. Let's continue with this method. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so when I click on one of them, I should run this function, right? Now, what this function is going to do, I'm just going to say for now, let's just debug.log add party member plus party member dot, I don't know, character type, right? So the party member is not going to have a name yet. Okay, so let's just do this. Okay, I don't know if this is going to work, but so we have the callback and all that stuff, and it should go and so column name. Okay, so this shouldn't be that. This should be column number. Right, because if it's that, it could go forever. So the column name works with the column number. And then I could have just done a for each there. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm incrementing the column number here, and I'm resetting it, which I don't want to do with that. So we can do a for each here. So let's do for each character SO character. So in party members SO dot character SOs. Something like that. And then we just have to do character SO here. There we go. Problem solved, right? So we create a party member for each character SO. Okay, so I'm just thinking about ways this is gonna break now. So one of the ways is I'm just passing references to the party member. I'm not creating new ones. When I add them to this list. So I'm just going to add the same reference, which means they won't have unique names. Okay, that could be a problem. Like the icon and stuff, that's not going to be unique, so that doesn't matter. But the name is supposed to be unique. So I don't think this is the way. I shouldn't create a party member here. Yeah, I think we should have a bunch of party members created. Yeah. Okay, so maybe what we do here instead. So when you click on, okay, so we have the thing with the image and all that good stuff. We've made it nicely, and when you click on this thing, I want to send it some kind of information, which could just be the character type. Right, because with the character type, I would be able to go and figure out what to add. I could also just send it a reference to the descriptable object, to be honest. So I could literally just do character SO here. Not do any of this. Because this already has all the information I need, right? And then over here I do yeah, just character SO. And then this should become a character SO. instead. Can even change the name here, just so we know what we are working with, right? So add a party member. So every time you click the, so we won't have duplicate characters. So we just get references. And then here we will add the information into the correct party member. Yeah, I think that's the way we do it. Okay. So for now, let's just save this. And let's see if I've done all the basic things we need to do for this to work. Probably didn't. I'll see now. Okay, so party selection UI. Okay, so we need a party members scriptable object. And somehow that's just everything we need. Okay, so let's see if it generates the icons. And I have no idea how these icons are going to look like. They might look like complete garbage. Null reference exception. Okay, so somewhere I don't have access to something. Oh, there's no column 0. Oh my greatness. Yeah, I remember now. We started these columns at column 1. Yeah, so I tried to add it to... Whoopsie. That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, we tried to add it to... Oh, come on. Just close those. Okay, yeah, so there's no column 0, so we started column 1, which means the column number should be column 1. Okay, and then, so now it's going to be just 1, 2, 3, 4, and when it's greater than 6, I guess, is when we jump. Alright, just like that. Okay, save, let it compile, and let's try it again. Fantastic, right? Look at all these amazing icons. And if you click on them, add party member, the duck, the I mean, it's absolutely horrible, and you can even scroll, but it squeezes everything else out of existence. Okay, so we need to add some formatting to these. Okay, cool. But at least it works. I guess. Right? Okay, so what the hell's happening there? Okay, so I think the first thing that's happening is my columns are not staying the size they should be. It's kind of weird. Because I did try... Yeah, they have the selector. I make them not grow. And their width is not auto. Yeah, but like they don't care. Yeah, like okay, this column now has a size of what? That. I don't understand why my columns don't want to change their size. Like, what is overwriting that? Is it this? Yeah, like they just ignore me. And I mean, it's not like I stretch them or anything like that. So this thing will grow, that's fine. Yeah, but somehow this is not, it's not changing anything. Let's see if it changes the height. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't have a problem changing the height. Oh, wait. No, that's not what I meant. If I click here and I change the height, that is changing something. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Also, though... Okay, so this guy... Okay, so the scroll view should really... take up all the space. I don't know why it's not... I don't understand you, scroll wheel. What's the problem? You don't want to grow. Okay, grow. There we go. Okay. Now this visual element... I don't want you to grow. You should just stay the way you are. Okay, so now, even if I change the columns... the height of the columns... okay. So for now, for some reason... okay, so this visual element I also don't want to change. So you don't grow. Your height is set in stone, right? We can make it a percentage, I guess. There we go. Like 45%, I don't know. Right, so that thing is now set. That thing is set. And this one can grow. What is Organa? Okay, then inside our scroll wheel, scroll view, we have our columns, which can grow. That's okay. The only thing annoys me now is the width of the columns that never changes. Let's take a column and let's give it a bit of a background color just so I can see, or an outline for that matter. Okay, I still can't see them. Okay, let's make it a background instead. Let's make it like whitish, something like that. Yeah, like that changes, no problem. And then we can do... give them a border. So for some reason it doesn't want to show the borders either. Okay. Let's say unset. Whoa, what did I just do? I changed everything, didn't I? Okay. Let's figure this out. Okay, so which direction are they going to try and grow? Okay, so these columns should grow. Okay, let's just do unset all. unset all. Just going to go through here and just make sure they are not being controlled or being overwritten by some nonsense I put in here before. Okay. Now, so this column changes. Okay, so let's see if I change the height now to something. Okay, so they grow again. And unfortunately, okay, so this is not what I want. Why are you guys changing size? Did I not make you? Okay, you can't shrink or grow. You are a fixed size. Always. Okay, like 45. There we go. That is your size. No shrinking, no growing. You can't make space for this guy. You can grow and shrink, it doesn't matter. And then actually this bottom thing, no shrinking or growing for you either. You just are the size you are. And you can fill in the space, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so the columns can go outside of the space, which is fine because we can obviously scroll. Okay. So the width of the columns are still not being affected, if I'm correct, right? I mean, that is kind of strange. I think it's because there's some kind of an override happening. That's what I would guess anyway. So something is overriding these. Okay, so let's just leave it like that. Okay, let's save this and let's run again. Now, obviously, it's gonna look shit. I believe. But let's see how bad it is, and then let's use the debugger to figure out how we can fix it. Right, so obviously the width is just not on, right? This thing is just taking over. Okay, let's just chill with the music. Okay, so let's go Window, UI Toolkit, Debugger. And pick an element. Okay, let's go over here, I guess. Okay, so let's see. So we have our selector, right? Then we have columns 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see. So column 1 should have a visual element inside of it, which is an image, right? That's good. Okay. So let's see. Column 1 height is what it is. Now flex grow it in. That is in. Okay, no. So flex grows just 1, that doesn't make a difference. Okay, so this column itself doesn't seem to be doing anything. I think it might be either the visual element or the image within. Right, so this image has a size, and this visual element is kind of just adapting to it. Right, is it possible? Yeah, because could we somehow constrain them? Yeah, and you see these ones go to 0. I wonder if a max or minimum size would help. Because I kind of want, I want them to grow. So I want the visual element to grow to the size of the column. Okay, so this thing has a column class, but it doesn't seem to do anything to it. Yeah, with auto, I'm not with them on that one. But even changing the column class doesn't change that. So if I go back here, I click on column and I change the width. To not be auto, but just some percentage, right? This should update live as far as I'm aware. Okay, it kind of lost it. Yeah, what bothers me is the fact that this is 20% now. Okay, so it does kind of seem to want to get the data. So it does inherit somehow, but it doesn't change the actual size here. I wonder if we should just have 5 columns instead, maybe. Maybe. It's not a... Okay, let's leave that there. And let's play and see what it does. Let's see if it actually changes that. Or if it keeps that width of 20%. Oh, it does. Okay. Well, that's way better. Okay, the height and stuff like that's terrible. Everything else is terrible, right? This is bad in every other way. But at least the width got kept. Okay, so that means it doesn't entirely ignore me entirely. It does actually do something. Okay, but 20% width is not good. We want some other, I think it's 16.66666. If I think about this, well, let's take a calculator, right? So I have 100% divided by 6, right? Yeah. So we actually want 16.6667% width. Okay. Then we need to do a couple of other things like the content, align items to start, definitely. And yeah, justify content. I think this one should be centered, right? I think so. And we could even add a bit of padding on either side here. Right, that way, yeah, they won't touch each other the same way. Let's add some padding at the top. Okay, just something like that. Look a bit better. And yeah, okay, the visual elements that we use to populate these look terrible, and that's just how it's gonna be, I think, unless we create a style for them. I mean, we can. Okay, so let's say, okay, you know what, I'll figure that out later. For now, I'm just gonna leave it like that. So if we play now, they should all be at least at the top. They should be inside of the elements. Okay, let's see. Okay, so they justify to the middle. Okay, I have the wrong idea then. with how that works, but it's nicely padded and everything. So that looks, again, I mean, we're getting much closer to the desired result. Yeah, so the problem is this one. So this could be centered, but this should be start. Switch off the music. Check it again. Still no. What am I missing here? Maybe it's that one. Maybe this one should be centered, that one should be start. I might have understood that exactly backwards. I think I might have, yes. Oh, we can do a flex wrap. Oh, that would have been easier, I think. Still not there. I still don't have the correct. Seriously? I don't understand. This height can be auto, I think, right? Just make everything auto and that one flex start. Oh my word. That is horrendous. Okay, let's check out debugger. Pick elements. I want to see what the hell is this thing doing here. Okay, so the size is whatever it is. That's fine. And this thing is whatever it is, and that thing. How is the position so weird? Oh wait, my column is actually, the column itself is being weird. Wait. Oh no, not really. There's definitely some weirdness here. Okay, there's the column. Okay, that column is being weird. Why are the columns weird? This makes zero sense. Like, the column shouldn't be all over the place. What are you doing? Align everything to start. That's yourself. Yeah, no, you should do that to yourself, but the rest of the things... Okay, let's go here again. Okay, so all these columns are super tiny. And the images went away. Right. Yeah, so when I reload it... wait, can I just do Control R? Nah. Doesn't work that way. Yeah, as soon as I reload it, it gets rid of everything that was here. Yeah, but it might have been that problem. Also, this might be wrong. Okay. So they auto height now. Why does that seem like exactly the opposite of what I want? Why? This UI. I wish it could just do what I want. Like that is obviously wrong, right? Like how the hell does it believe that that is the way it should place these icons? Like I can't believe that is what they derive from this. And I don't think it's the column anymore, unless I need to force it to do the right thing. So if I do that, so we make the width what it is and everything. So let's try that now. I don't know if it makes a difference if you save this or not. Okay, so that doesn't change anything, right? They still just all over the place. Maybe I should have saved it though. Save. Save twice. Right, that is at start. This is align self to the top of the cross axis. Let's just align everything to the tops. Alright, this is just stupid right now. I mean, my buttons are doing something. But why on earth? Why? Is it because I didn't save it again? Could it really be? I'm willing to try again. I might also just run away. Oh my word, this is so dumb. It's like it just ignores me. Why is it ignoring me? It's not you. Unless it is you. Let's just make you auto. No, that's align self. That's fine. That should just work like that. Flick start. Yeah, everything should be top aligned. Yeah, this one is the same. Just top aligned, and then if you go to this one, it's self-aligned, fine. Items, I mean, let's just make it top aligned as well. Go here, everything is top start, right? And each of these columns, obviously, the top and the start is up there. Why? Somebody, please, tell me why. Tell me why this is happening. And if I go to Window, UI Toolkit Debugger, and I do a pick element, and I go find this stupid image. Wait, is this image just massive? I kind of think these images are just massive. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can... Okay, so then maybe in code we make the images be a certain size. Which is not a bad thing, right? We might want them to be a certain size. Okay, so let's see. So we have our visual elements. We can do ve.style dot, let's see. I don't actually know what size we want to do. Not scale. Okay, so let's say we have a visual element. We want size, width. That's what we want to find. Okay, we can also just add a... Okay, maybe we do that. Maybe we do a icon holder. Okay, and the icon holder width and height can be auto for now, I guess. But then what we can do, we don't allow it to grow. No, actually, let's make it a size, right? Let's make the icon holder a size. We would want these pictures to be, I don't know, 100 by 100 pixels, right? The width and height. Oh, I'm still in play mode. Okay, so icon holder with height. There we go. Now, if we go then, nope. If we go here, I think it's add to class list. String class name is icon holder. Right, right, so when we generate these things, they won't be massive. Oh, hey, this guy. No problem, man. You were busy. How's it going? It's going rough over here. Man. These the damn UI. Like, I can do so many things, but it's still flipping doesn't want to work half the time. Okay, that is reasonable, right? This is kind of what I hoped for. Okay, fantastic. Good. Shut the sake. Okay, so it looks way better. It's not the complete garbage anymore. So now we can actually maybe take these and, you know, align the items along the... I can't remember which one is the main and cross axis. I forget that all the time. But I think I want to align them and not justify them. Might be wrong there. Yeah, I might be wrong. I don't remember which one is which. But yeah, if we just pick an element. Okay, maybe I did do it correctly. Okay, wait, let's just see what do we have here. So we have that content holder. Which is a bit weird, but anyway. So we have a column, and then inside the column we have that guy. Yeah, okay, so we did align them correctly. Yeah. And then we have two more just empty columns, which will get filled once we can. Now, obviously, I mean, all of this looks bad, right? We'll fix it eventually. I just want the damn thing to flip and work. Okay. But this is at least a start, so... yeah, all of these icons should be the same size eventually. They are obviously not at the moment, which is kind of bad. We could actually go and change that. I think it wouldn't be that difficult. Yeah, so if you look at the portraits... let's see, what did I set these as? Okay, so they're all the same. But yeah, they're obviously not the same size at all. So I want to open Sprite Editor. I kind of just want to crop it. That makes sense. Yeah, I think I want to trim it. Why can't I trim my sprite or slice? What does polygon mean? Four sides. I don't know. I don't know. I think it should be easy to just make it a square, but apparently that's not. Yeah. So, you know. I need to edit them in probably some other software, potentially. Is this even a software that can edit this? Let's see. Edit. I don't know what that means. You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, my wife did make proper portraits. These are the dumb ones that I snipped. I should probably just go find the other ones. Let's see. Where would they have been? You decided you hated coding beat 'em ups. Why? What's the problem with them? How are they different? I mean, you've been... What is the problem specifically? Oh. Oh, you can't just, you can't just use physics, right? Because you want them to move. It's like a 2.5D game, right? You want them to move up and down, so you need your y-axis to kind of move them backwards, and then but you still want them to jump. I remember that problem. I wanted to make this game 2.5D. But I decided against that. Okay, let's just... Okay, let's see. What did my wife... This is my bad portrait, right? Okay, this doesn't help. This is too much. I don't think this is what I wanted. That's not a portrait. That's a massive flippin'... Yeah, I'll have to ask her to make a proper portrait. It's okay. I think I am... Okay, before we continue, so I think I got the portrait things going. We need to continue with the code. I'm gonna go grab myself a coffee again. Move around a bit. I'm sitting on a new chair today, but it feels kind of bad. It's not new, it's an old chair. I don't know. I have a bad relationship with chairs. Anyway, I'll be right back. Let me just do one of these. 2 minutes. I have returned. Okay, let's jump back into this. Okay, so what are we trying to do? Okay, I think we need to code some stuff, right? Okay, let's go code some stuff. So currently, okay, so the placement and the creation and the connection of all these things work, and we can run this function, which is nice. Now we just need to make it do something, right? So I think on start, we also want to potentially create our party member list. Right, so after we created all those buttons, we can do a for int I. We'll do I less than 4, right? And then just I plus plus. Okay, so this is our for loop for our party members. So let's create, before we start this, we want to create a list. So we go party members equals new list of party members. And then we go party members. This would be I equals a new party member, right? So we create our party members. Now we only have 4. So let's see. Okay, so that doesn't mean anything. We just need to connect everything here now. Well, specifically, we need to connect, I guess, the icon. No, that's not an element. We need the holder. We need the name. All right, so let's just connect those two. Okay, so it's going to be party members. I. Okay, dot name equals root dot q. We want to query type. This is a text field. Okay, and what is the name of the text field? I think it should just be party member name or something, right? Just go see. Okay, so that's this text field. What do I call it? Not much. Okay, so it doesn't have a name actually. Well, we have. Okay. We have the holder here, and we have inside of it. Okay. Party member name. Okay, and this one should be the member icon. Okay, something like that. Okay, so we're gonna make these all the same. Yeah, we get in. Yeah, okay. That's fine. This is exactly how we're gonna go about this. Okay. So they're all named the same thing, but the holders are different. So is this holder, it starts at holder 1. Okay, cool. So if we go back here, we could. Nah, we don't have to. Okay, so we don't want this. We want a string holder name, right, is equal to string dot format. We do our good old. This is gonna be. I don't remember. Party member with a number. Okay, so party member with some number, and this would typically be let's just say I plus 1, right? Okay, Yeah, because it's going to be 1 up. We start at 1, so it's fine. I plus 1. Okay, cool. So then we can go through our list of party members. And then instead of root, okay, so first of all, okay, I can kind of see. So we need a visual element holder. And that's going to be root.q visual element holder name. Okay, and then here we're going to go holder.q. Okay, what do we want? We want a text field. Okay, and the text field name would be party member name, right? And then we kind of want to do the same thing, but this one would be a visual element, and it's going to be party member icon. I believe, I'll check now. Not like that. I'll check like this. Unity is compiling. Party member icon, party member name. Yes, that is right. And we don't want name here. We want hello. This is going to be our selection holder, I guess. Okay, cool. And so we got those two things. And what else do we need? So the other things are not going to be set yet, right? So we don't create them. Or we can. We can actually. So we can do party members I dot icon equals new image, right? So we can just create an image, character icon, and then later we can set the sprite. Yeah. Okay. So now we have reference to all the, and then we just put them inside. Yeah, I guess so. So party members again. I dot selection holder dot add. We just want to add the, what do we want to add here? The character. Well, we want to add this icon. Alright, that was a bit of a roundabout thing. Hey, Mr. Human Limits. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm also doing well, thank you. How have you finished a game? Do you have infinite time, perhaps? I'm over here struggling. Okay, cool. So we create our party member, and then we want to add it to the list, right? So we want to go party members dot add this particular okay, wait a minute. Yeah, this might have been dumb. This is not going to work. So we want to add, okay, so we want to create a party member. I want to create a new party member and then add him there, and then all of this should be party member. Yeah, so creating the party member, we don't have to do any of this stuff. And this should also be just party member. Right, so we create a party member, we add all the things, and then we add the party member to the list. Okay. You are a bit on break. Ah, jeez. Yeah, I'm also going to be on break soon. Or something like a break. I still have a bunch of work to do, but it's not... I don't have to go into the so-called office anymore. Yesterday was my last day. So I'm going to be super productive, I hope, for the next couple of weeks. Okay. So this should work. So we add a party member. And we only add 4. Okay, so we have our list of party members. Fantastic. Now, when we say add party member, we want to effectively... I think we need an extra thing in our party member. And maybe just a boolean is empty. Or is full. Right, and kind of what I'm thinking here is that when you ask... When we go through the party member list, we should ask each party member, yo, do you already have a character inside of you? If no, add one. If yes, we'll skip over you. Right, I think that's kind of cool. Sort of. Okay, so every time we click this button, we should go for each, right? I think we go through all our party members, right? So that's the 4 blocks up top. And we ask each block if... well, party member.is full. We skip over it, right? Otherwise, we should do something. So we can either do check if it's true. If it's full, we can just do nothing. Or if it's not full, we add something. So what we can do then is party member dot, and now we can start working with it. So we have the party member dot selection holder. No, actually just the party member dot icon, character icon, must be equal to our character SO dot character portrait, right? Dot sprite, actually. So we just set the sprite. We set the sprite to that, and then our party member dot type, we do character so dot character type. Right, so those are the 2 things we set. We set the image, we set the character type, and we need to set that boolean as well. Okay, and then we set the boolean. Is party member dot is full equals true. Right, so we've filled it, so to speak. Okay, and that's great. That's all we need. Right? So that's now for adding a party member. Okay. I also want to do actually another thing here, and I want to do party member. So I want to register a callback here. So I want to do party member dot register. No, not party member dot selection holder dot register callback. Okay, so let's think what we want here. So it's going to be a pointer down event. Okay, so a pointer down event, and it's going to be the remove. Okay, this thing should also take a pointer down event. I'll just call it event. Okay, and then we just want to do remove party member. Okay, so we'll think about if we need any other arguments. Okay, so what does this thing do? So it needs to clear the image, right? I'm not sure if this is something that'll work, but so if we click on it, we should actually get the party member as well. Right? So we should get the party member itself. Yeah. Okay, something like that. So we get the party member when we click the mouse. Okay? Into this function. And what we should do is we should check if party member is full. We should do something. Right, otherwise there's no real point in trying to do something. So the first thing we might want to do is change the character sprite. Right, so that could be interesting. Because I don't know how. So if we do party member dot character icon dot sprite equals null. So can we set it to null? Can we just get rid of the sprite? I guess we can. And can we do party member dot character type equals null as well? That doesn't work, so we can't change the type to null. Okay. We don't really have to care about the character type. What we should do is we should say party member dot is full equals false, right? So we make it false and we remove the sprite. Okay. So that should happen. And then eventually, obviously, we'll have other buttons to click, and then we can check if the party is actually full. So we go through each party member and we make sure they are all full. I actually don't have any idea how to do pop-ups. That's something I'm going to have to figure out. Because I think they're going to be useful. Just to, you know, pop up a message, be like, yo, your party isn't full. So maybe do something about that, right? Okay, but now we can add and remove party members, technically. Okay. So let's see if any of this works. Yeah. So we save. We wait for Unity to compile, apparently. Okay, let's play. Let's see what it wants to do. Okay, so it seems like nothing happened, but if I click on this guy, okay. So they're all full, but if I click there and I click here, okay, so I kind of figured it out, sort of. Okay, but one click should just equal one placement. Okay, but that's actually pretty good. That works better than expected, to be honest. Okay, cool. So one click is one placement. We just need to fix that. So I think that is because when we did the add party member, we just looped through and we added it to everything. Okay, so we should kind of break the loop. I think that's all we need to do. So it should only add one party member in the first spot that it finds. Righto. Where do Twitch chat come back? Okay. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, click once, full once. Click once, full once. So we can do something like that. And if I click there, and I click there, and I click there, and I click there. There we go. Look at that. Just like it. Some nice looking party selection. Go away, alarm. I don't have to go anywhere. Why is this thing so stubborn? Damn. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's great. But now we need to get our button to work, right? So our button, let's see, where the hell is this button? So this is our start button and our back button, right? Our back button should just hide this, and our start button should go to do something else. The start button is probably going to do some serious things, right? It's probably going to load. Okay, but this is just start button, so we just get the back button and start button, no problem. Okay. Okay, so what we want to do here is make our root.q type button. Right, in the name. So we have, whoops, back button dot clicked. Plus equal, and we can just do one of those and one of these, one of these. All right, kind of just as a placeholder, and then we do the same with the start button. Okay. Now, what do we actually want to do here? So for our start button, I think we want to actually do run. Oh, we actually want to do a couple of things. So let's actually open it up a bit. So the first thing we want to do is loader dot, I think it's load a callback, and we want to do, I don't remember actually. I don't know how to do this. Okay, so I want to start the thing, right? So it's kind of like this. Oh, main menu, so let's see. So play button dot clicked. Okay. So we want to do loader load scene. Okay, cool. This is what we want to do. Loader scene, game scene. Okay. So we want to go to the game scene, right? But before we do that, we actually want to do a few other things. Like, we want to go and populate our party member list. Right? So, we want to go and do a for int I. Yeah, something like this. Now, we could do a for each. Yeah, let's just do it for each. For each. And so party member imp, not party members SO, but party members, right? We're gonna go through this thing, and we want to check. Okay. So there's a couple of things we should be checking. So first of all, on start, this list would have been created at least, right? and the party members would exist. So this list is complete. It's got 4 elements and all that good stuff. So, but we should first check if all of our party members is at least populated. Right? So we check if party member dot is full. Right? I think we continue. Yeah, I never know what this... Okay. So let's say if party member is not full, okay, so we need to be careful here. So there are probably better ways to do this, like try, and I know I've seen and I've heard of these cool methods where you can check for something like this, but I'm a bit of a noob, so I'm just going to do it maybe a bit of a brute force way, because I don't understand all the capabilities of my programming language that I'm using right now. So, that all being said, how am I brute forcing this? So this is what I'm going to try. So I'm basically going to check if all the party members are full, right? And if one of them returns as not full, I want to have a problem happen, and I don't want this to occur. Right, so what we can do is we could have a boolean here, and it's just going to be is full equals false. Right, and then we go through this thing, and we go through every single one of these. So on each pass, we might do is full equals true. And if any of these fail, so if is full is false on any one of my characters, you see now, actually, let's do it true there. So we start off assuming that we have all the characters. And if this ever happens, we do false and we break the loop, because there's no point in continuing, right? Okay, so we break the loop there, and we... Okay, so first of all, we do this, right? So either the loop completes and is full stays true, or the loop breaks is full is false, and we can't do this. Okay, and we can do an else here, which would be a debug dot log at this point, which will be you need to select more characters for your party. Okay, and obviously this will be a pop-up of some kind in the future. Right now, it's just a debug statement in our console. Okay, so that's a very straightforward way of doing this. Okay, so as soon as this happens, when you click the button, it is going to go through the loop and make sure all of the party members are full. And if one of them isn't, so if this returns a false at any point, we make it false, we break, we give ourselves an error. Now you can click it again and see if it works that time. Okay, but while we're doing this, right, what we should do as well is we should actually take our party member SO and start filling it. Okay, and this might be where we do okay, so let's see. So maybe a for loop was more appropriate here. So for int I equals 0, Yeah, let's go through this. Entire equals 0. We can do entire equals 0. I less than party members dot count, and then I plus plus. Right, so then we do party member. No, party member. No. Party member. You know what? We don't need to do that. We can literally just take party members I. So we go through each party member. So we check every party member. We check if it's full. And yeah, so we do the same thing. So now all we also have to do is we have to get our party member SO dot party member list. Right, and do we want to add we need to be careful about this. I don't know if I think it would be better if we just assign a value. So we go party members I dot character type. Yeah. And then party members SO dot party member names I, and then we do party members. So I'm assuming this does overwrite it, right? I actually don't know. Character. Okay, so this would be name dot text, I assume, to assign that. Now we could check. Okay. Okay, so let's just see if this works. I'm going to take out the loader because I want to see if this scriptable object gets changed, right? Now it should. I'm pretty sure this works the way I think it will. Yeah, so it'll break as soon as there's a problem, but it should fill. And if it's full, it'll try and do. Well, it won't do anything, right? It can't load. I commented that out. Okay, but that is now what the start button is gonna do. The back button doesn't do anything. So let's just see if this works, right? This is pretty much the behavior I would like, and then the only additional thing would be that loading the next level. So it populates the scriptable object, and then it will load. Let's see. Let us see. Show me what you got. Game, are you getting there? Are you getting there? Let's see. Okay, so what I actually want to do here is I want to go find that scriptable object. I want to see it mutate. Okay. Scriptable objects, right? Party member SO. Okay, there we go. So we have our character SOs, that's not going to change. And we have this. This is what should change, right? So if I click chicken, duck, 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 and I click start, look at that. It went chicken, duck, duck, duck. And the names are blank. So if I give them names, Rob, this guy, myself, and Stacy. I don't know why Stacy, but anyway. Okay. So I gave them names. Start. Hey, look at that. Cool. They have names now. Fantastic. And if I change it to a Robin instead, and I click start again, it should just change it to a Robin. That's so cool. Look at me doing things in code that works. Okay, yeah, and the names are populated, the characters are populated. And I can do just a bunch of ducks and a Robin. I can do any combination of anything. $5. That's ridiculous. I'll change it to this guy too. There we go. It's completely different. Well, technically, you have a capital T and an NZ at the end, so, you know, I plead that it's not actually your name. Okay, so that works. Obviously, it looks horrible, especially the icons I'm using are terrible, right? I need to go change them. But that should be a fairly straightforward process if I get nice ones. Okay, but this looks good, right? And if I click start, nothing's going to happen, right? Because the start button, you know, can't really go do anything. Because I disabled that ability. Now, if I click start without a character, you need to select more characters for your party. Oh, sorry. There we go. Look at that. Yes, like it. Yes, like it. I'm actually going to finish this UI in one morning. And I even started late. Well, I'm going to make it functional in one morning. It's not going to be good, but it will work. It's definitely going to work. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so we can actually get this in there. So we can totally have the loader. Okay, now the only other thing I think I want to do is a show hide, right? So I'm just going to copy these. Yeah, so we do show and hide functions, and we just need to get the main container actually as a reference. Oh, we do. Okay. Fantastic. So we can show and hide, which means the back buttons should just actually call. This can just be hide UI, right? If I understand this correctly, like I don't need. No, okay. So that doesn't work. I need to do it this way. I need to do the little arrow thing if I just wanna. Okay, but yeah. So this thing runs and it just hides UI. Okay, I think these thingies. I remember playing around with it. Yeah, so you can either do. Oh, okay. If I don't put the brackets, it does work. Oopsie. Like that. Just run hide UI. Okay. I understand now. I understand. It's like an event, right? So yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So this thing will run this function that I quickly defined here in the start. Which, you know, why not? We got all this working. Got all this working. We can add and remove members. That works somehow. So we just need to show the UI. Okay, so in the main menu now, when you click the play button, I actually don't want it to load a scene. Turns out, I just wanted to show the UI of my party selection UI. So let's add, this is going to be like the parent, so we'll just make a party selection UI and just call it the party selection UI. And what we'll do over here, when the play button is clicked, it should just show, well, party selection UI dot show UI, right? So playing just shows you that new UI. Fantastic. Fantastic. Fan-flippantastic. Okay. And I think what I want to do at the end of this massive start function, if I can find the end, is just hide this UI. Right, because it's going to try and be all over the place. So we should only show it, and then the back button can hide it, and we can actually load and start our game. What? That's ridiculous. Ridiculous, I tell you. Okay. Anything else I can think of before we try this? I think one thing I want to do is just, like, the way this thing pops up is not bad. but it is kind of bad, right? So let's just make it a... Oh, the text fields. Yeah, I should maybe force them to put names, right? Okay, let's change that. So let's just do... okay, so these text fields, let's just type something. Please give me a name. Hello? What? What just happened? Oh, I'm just dumb. Okay, let's think about this. Is there a way to check whether or not the name has in fact been provided? I assume I can check for null. So let's just do that. And I also want to just quickly change this thing, the darkness. Just want to make it a little bit darker. Like that. Okay. Oh, that's cool, man. 5 levels. Scut tail. I assume that's how you say it, eh? Scut tail. Yeah, put it on itch. Put it on itch. Put it on itch right now and send me the link, and I'll try it. Okay, let's finish this off. So please give me a name. So then what I should also do is just let it check if a name has been provided for the poor characters. So we do check if it is full. So that means a character has been selected. So this might be true. But we should also check if the character has a name. So okay, let's see. What can we do this? So party member dot name dot. Okay, text selection. Okay, so I see we can't do much. Okay, so could we do is this possible? Could we just do if party members, let's say no, what the hell, dot name dot text is, will it be equal to null? So if there isn't a name, then we can just do is well, we can do we can do bool all have. Again, I'm probably just dumb here, but anyway, that's just work with me, right? All have name equals true. So we check all the names, and if any of the names are actually empty, I guess null means empty, right? In this context, like it understands it's an empty string, I believe, right? But anyway, then So we assume it's true, but it could also not be true. So all have name is false, and we actually break the loop, because what's the point? Okay, and then okay, so we just checked. We check if S full is true, so a character has been selected, and then we check that a name has been provided, and then so we want a and here, all have name, right? Okay, something like that, right? So we can break out of this loop for two reasons. We can either break because we didn't actually select a party member, and we can break out of it because we don't actually have a name for the party member. Okay. So we can have debug, you need to select more party members, or they don't all have a name. Like, just something like that, man. Whatever. Okay, so let's test that, and then I think that's it. Then the game should just actually work. Not fully polished. Look, that's going to be the case for basically all games to exist ever, right? No games have been fully polished at all in the history of game development. I don't think anybody has completely polished any game. Right? Like, if you really think about it, like, which games do you know about that the developers made the game and they're like, this is perfect. There we go. It's like, no. Okay, if we click play, we already have a null reference exception error because I forgot to plug it in. It doesn't know what I'm referring to, so let's try again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have that problem one day. Just before I launch a demo or something, where I'm gonna be like, no, this is not good enough, and you get like the sense of anxiety and dread. You're like, everybody's gonna hate this. Should I really put this out there? I don't think it's a good idea. Play. Okay, cool. Play. So we get our selection screen. It looks terrible, but anyway. So let's say we select all the characters, and we click start. Okay, so it worked. Alright, that's unfortunate, right? Because now basically they just don't have names. Okay. So that's bad. Okay, so it can't check null. Can it check for empty string? Right, because these are just empty strings now, I suppose. So let's check for empty string instead. Right, so if any of the names are just empty strings, then right, I guess that's another way to check it. Let's try it. I should have taken the load out because that's, yeah, it's unfortunate. Also, why is it so slow? Or is that just because it's bloated because there's a bunch of nonsense in the game that isn't required? I guess it's because of all the unrequired nonsense that's in the game currently. Okay, so we click play, select your party. Great. I want these guys. And if I start, I hope it doesn't work. Okay, you need to select more characters or they don't all have names. Okay, cool. So this is Rob. This is Bob. This is I don't know. I ran out of names, guys. Oh, no. Rob, Bob, John. Yeah, that's original. John, and this will be Stacy. Okay, so now we have all names. We have all characters. And if we start now... There we go. It started. Rob, Bob, John, Stacy. Okay. Cool. And we can obviously check their stats and everything. And next level. We can click on one of them. We can select them to play. And we can actually play the game. Slice! I like that slice ability, I'm not gonna lie. It's a pretty fun one. There we go. Look at that. Just like it. Okay, let's get our passive strength going here, because that's the most broken. Yeah, Rob, Bob, John, and Stacy. Yeah, there we go. It's perfect. Okay, there we go. That guy has a bunch of nice buffs. Gee whiz, okay. This guy's going to be pretty strong now. Damage. Wow. Colin, Frank, Cole, Sherry, and Regan. Reagan. Is that a Regan or Reagan? I think it's Regan, right? Reagan would have an A somewhere. Like, okay. This is obviously the next problem I have, is there's nothing on this UI, but yeah, we can figure that out. Yeah, and currently this feels bad, right? Click, 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 click. I could make it click and drag. That's not really the problem. That'll feel better, maybe more intuitive, perhaps. Yeah, it could be both. Oh, maybe you're talking about the name. Yeah, okay. Well, at least this is working. Just like this guy got some serious attack damage going here. So, if I think about it... Like that level prep UI, what does it have to do? Look, we're going to have items and stuff like that. And this bar on the side is kind of just a temporary bar where people are just kicked to by default, right? And the idea would be there's a bunch of items and things, so you're going to like click and put your characters on different items. And one of them is going to go to the start game. Yeah, but click and drag, especially if it's on a computer, is very intuitive, right? This is how we've been trained to use a computer from, well, Windows, basically. Because that's exactly what Windows does, right? So I might have to change it to that, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, people. I think we're gonna call it a day. I'll probably work some more on this during the day. See what else I can get going. But for now, I think we are done here. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Cheers. Or good evening, for that matter. It might be evening where you're at.